update, he works on them, and then AG commit, right?
Yeah. What I was trying to do graphically, I just did in like 4 characters here. I'm not so used to doing it graphically, but if I were to go back now, if I were to hit refresh, and should say, there we go. See, it reloaded now. I probably should have got a little more familiar with the graphical interface, but this is typically how I am using it. So I don't like how this was called. I think that first off, maybe we should be the unified districts of America.
Canvas.
Of Amero. Okay, and I want to oops, sorry. And if I were the other guy, I can go back and I can go ahead and pull the changes, and I can see that from test 2 to test 1 that they changed the stupid name. So those are some ways of using it. Go back here. You can see some of the changes and some of the history, and you can revert back pretty easily. Does anybody have any other questions? There was something else you want to see, Tom?
Last time I saw you give this presentation, you went a little bit more in depth about the difference between distributed version control systems versus client-server version control systems. And pretty much you were talking about how with distributed, it was much better to handle multiple aspects of a project, and then as far as like, I forget the word you used. Do you remember what I was talking about?
I do, but I was also...
If there's a group handling the file system, they would manage their own changes for the file system, and then who's ever in charge of the file system would make sure that integrates correctly with...
Well, the way the Linux kernel, it uses a distributed version revision control system called Git. And the way it works is, even though it's not a client server, Linus Torvalds, his home machine, that's pretty much the de facto copy of the Linux kernel. And he has a few lieutenants, basically guys who either add extensions to the Linux kernel. So he has one machine that kind of has 3 committers. Let's just say 3 is a good number, that will commit commit to his machine, and he can look before he commits, kind of as we saw before I issued the hgco command. You can look at the diffs to see what has changed among multiple files. It doesn't have to just be one file, and he can choose to accept or deny those commits, and then maybe he likes one of those and he commits and he says, okay, well, this is now the Linux kernel. And each of those guys, one guy may be in charge of file system access, another guy may be in charge of process timing and things like that. So if you find a bug in Linux about process timing, you'll go to the specific lieutenant in charge of that and try to commit to him, and if he accepts those changes, then he'll look at them and then possibly post them back up to Linus Torvalds. So it kind of allows you to have just a distributed network where you don't have to rely on one server, and this guy who's posting to this guy, posting to this guy, posting to this guy doesn't necessarily need to have commit access to Linus Torvalds' machine. he just goes up the chain of command, where if you have a client server based, you kind of need commit access to that one top machine, which Linus isn't going to give you that. So, if that's making any sense to anybody.
Awesome now.
What's up?
Can I see Windows side?
Oh, you want to see the Windows one? You guys don't like?
Windows.
Yeah, the Windows. Alright.
You didn't hear that for months.
Yeah, especially because it's on video.
Put that on YouTube, it'll be in the comments.
Alright,
Someone's gonna post an annotation up.
Of what?
A YouTube annotation.
that's a lovely password. You'll pop up. No, it's this is Tom's computer, and he set up a password that's easy for me to remember.
Is it Windows?
Okay, so
We don't see anything.
You don't have to see it.
all right, waiting for the Windows machine to do its thing.
Spell for you, I don't know.
There we go. All right. So I kind of had already set up this on here. I mean, you can pretty much do the same thing. You have the same menu where you can.
Go again over the basic workflow. Check out depository.
Okay. We have this Declaration of Independence right here, and you want to go ahead and make a clone of that. Is that what you want to do?
No, check out.
Go ahead and check it out.
Yes, just check it out. That's not making fun. Let's just check it out to work. Get the work to go.
Right now we're in the working copy.
It's already checked out.
Oh,
Yeah.
You can just open it up.
So I mean, right now what it looks like is we, the people of the United States of America, they made some changes to the name and everything. And if you want to view some of the history,
It's right there. Under commit.
Repository, yeah.
Explorer.
look at that. See, the things are all set up there. I mean, it's quite upsetting to me.
Click it.
I think they spent more time on the Windows version than the
Yeah, look
Probably. So we have some of the same history right here. So it originally started out as, it just said the word test, or there was nothing in there. Added the line, we the people, and it says where it added it, you know, 0 at 00, basically the first character. Now they changed we the people to we the people of the unified states of Colombia. Going over the history, and now there's the current version. But maybe you really like the unified states of Colombia. So one of the things that you can do is you can go and
Revert.
apparently that broke since the last time I missed this.
What? You gotta right click on the file.
He did that.
He did? Oh, he did.
I was
What do
there.
you think version control systems would do for the interpretation of the Constitution? If,
Are you trying to say founding fathers using this?
going back and trying to find out
Maybe
what
they
the
did on Linux
rights
or-
of original.
Probably found a lot more out about the politics of the time.
They use Windows.
They probably did use
Oh,
Windows.
okay.
That would make things a mess. Version 9.5.
All right, so I went ahead and reverted back. So if we check it out now,
Seriously, though. Ben Franklin must have.
okay, we reverted back, but we didn't actually commit to those revisions. So if we go ahead and commit, we can see that the file has changed. Look, the check mark is there, and now it is back to we the people of.
How does it back up your
Did you refresh?
Like it.
Refresh.
Okay, so it doesn't like me. And I have even less experience using Windows with HG. HE serve. Like I said, most of the time it is command line that I use it, so I should have been a little more prepared. And I'll let you guys mess around with it and get back to me.
I think the best thing part about this is it's really easy to set up and get your files in a version control system.
I asked you to set it up like about an hour before the presentation.
Yeah.
And I had about 10 minutes to mess around with the Windows version.
It took me 5 minutes to get this installed and starting to commit files. And for the most part, you're going to be committing files and just knowing that you can go back to it at a later date if something happens. That's nice.
Should we go ahead and do some housekeeping stuff real quick?
We sort of went over that stuff already. What else did you have in mind?
I want to remind about the
Foxfire?
I have no idea what that is, but just skip it.
I want to remind about the Google moderator. Oh, we have to be connected to the internet.
Don't use Firefox. I use that to.
Macro.
All right.
Yeah, I use that to.
We had sent out in the initial email. One of the initial emails.
We have private browsing on that for a reason, huh?
Huh?
We have private browsing on Firefox for a reason.
No, it's not that. It's so I can jack up my rankings because I keep visiting my site. With iMacros. Hey, would anyone be interested in learning about iMacros? It's a really easy way to script web page or web browser automation. And like me, I use it to jack up my rankings onto my profiles.
Why?
No.
So I
He's
get.
a liar and a cheat.
Are you getting paid for every visitation or something?
No, it just makes other
That'd be
people
illegal.
visit me, like real people.
It's,
I'll show you what I'm
What's the
doing.
difference?
First off, I would like to thank our speaker colleague. This is going better than I expected after only 2 meetings. We are still putting infrastructure in place. When I say we are putting infrastructure in place, I'm just going to try to recover password for our website so that you guys can move to the domain and do this in the seamless fashion. I also want to announce that we are starting the department newsletters. Everything is on my computer. Unfortunately, I didn't put a copy of newsletter on the internet, so if you want to see it, you will be able to see it. And one of the articles will be the article about your today's presentation. Are these 3:30 meetings work for you people?
3:30.
We were suggesting alternating with the Developers Guild, doing it first Thursday every month, same time, same place.
And what that's on Thursday.
First Thursday of every month, 6:30 over in the.
The thing is that I'm not on Thursday in Augusta.
Okay.
I'm not in Augusta on Thursday. Okay.
Who
So
else
that's
is?
all, I mean,
Alright.
I will leave this to discussion. I want you to think about. A few other things. I want you to think about who is going to be next speaker. What would you like to see? And when you're preparing the talks, this is actually excellent way to practice speaking in public and giving the talks. Try to keep the talks as simple as possible. Okay? I know that, for instance, for the purposes of his use, he wants to use distributed version control system and wants to discuss very advanced features, tagging, branching, whatever. You know, but when you give a talk to uninitiated audience, try to keep as simple as possible. This is a really cool idea. It's not my idea. We will put these videos on the website of the newsletter, because newsletter will have its own website where you can download articles and
Anybody good at
and
video
audio
editing?
videos. Yes.
Sounds like
I think that French language is gonna bite you for your butt. I just created that. Anyway,
I'll take.
yes. Thank you guys so much.
I wanted to remind everyone who did not get the email that we had sent out after the initial meeting. Anybody not get it?
I don't think I got it.
You didn't get it? Okay. When we set up this Google moderator, it is a place to post ideas. One of the ideas that I